Hey guys, Sak here from sakitech, and in today's video, I will share the first 25 things to do with your Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. These tactics will make sure your phone runs with best possible settings at optimum performance, and it is properly optimized for you specifically. So let's dive in and get started right away and discover the possibilities of this device. And also, if you want to buy the Fold 5, links to get it at the lowest pricing and with the best incentives are going to be down below. Alright, the very first thing you want to do is you want to give your phone a unique name. So you want to go to your settings. Okay, you want to scroll all the way down and you want to go to About Phone, and you can see by default it's just going to say something like this: Z Fold 5 with a photo of your device. You want to tap on Edit and you want to give it a more unique name. So in my case, I want to make it Saki Fold 5. And this is a way of customizing your phone, but also this is the name that's going to show up on other devices when you try to connect via Bluetooth or share something with somebody else via Wi-Fi. This is the name they are going to see. So that's going to be great. Now your phone has the exact name that you want it to have. The next thing that you want to quickly do is you want to modify this taskbar at the bottom. You can see when I launch any application that is down here or any application up here, that row of applications get dumped to the bottom here as a taskbar, and that is useful to do multitasking, so you can grab other apps from here and dump them right here to quickly start a split screen multitasking. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure you just edit these so you have all the apps you want to be able to quickly access. So basically, if you want to edit this area, all you do is you grab and hold and drag and drop applications into it, and you can go and add 8 applications, as you can see. So just make sure those are the exact applications you need for quick access. It's not a huge deal because even when you go to the taskbar, you are able to tap this button and you are able to access all the installed apps on your phone as well. So you're not limited to these applications, but it's easy to just glance and quickly access these applications. Alright, the next feature I want to quickly talk about is the flex mode. This is a special mode only available on the foldable smartphones when it is in fact half folded like this. You can see we have the screen split into two, but we have this button at the bottom. When you tap on this button, you get this control panel to control the upper part of the actual application. And then you can tap it again, and that goes back to the standard view, which is still a flex view, but this button just gives you that control panel to play with certain applications. I'm going to show you guys how to enable this for most applications. Now before I show that to you, I do want to let you know that when you use the camera application in the flex mode, you by default get the control panel right here. That's to take the photos and all that stuff, to change the settings. That's the viewfinder. Here's the camera. And then over here you can see, if you take a photo, you can see the preview right there. But then you also have this button available for many other applications. Let me show you how to enable that. Alright, so to enable the flex mode, you go to the settings, alright? Then you go to advanced features right here, and then you go to labs. And then at the bottom you have the flex mode panel, and what you are able to do is you're able to enable this, and then it is going to activate that button for basically every app. So the phone is flex now, and let me just launch the calculator application, okay? And then I can tap, and you can see we have this touchpad that just appears, and I can actually use that, and there's a mouse, as you can see, which is quite crazy. Now in this application, it's probably irrelevant, but in other applications, it might be very relevant. Look at this, you can tap this, and that allows you to even do split screen from that little button, okay? But again, you want to play with this stuff and see exactly what's available for what application. And again, if you don't need it, you just disable it. Now, one thing with the taskbar I want to let you know is if you do go to the settings, and if you go into display, there's going to be a taskbar option here that actually allows you to turn it off, okay? So when you turn this off, you're not going to see it. So that might be a little bit more immersive for you to play with because you see the full screen of whatever app you're in. So if I'm in the phone app, I'm going to see the full screen. I can swipe up to go back. It's right here. But I think most people are going to like the taskbar, so you can enable it. But there is an option when you go into taskbar. You have this option at the bottom. So if you press and hold here, if you're in an app and you're looking for full immersion, you can press and hold here, and it actually is going to make that taskbar disappear. That's going to be temporary. You can always press and hold in the same area to bring it right back up. So this is the option I would enable for the taskbar. Now, one more quick thing I'm going to show you guys really quick that is very useful is for applications that you use all the time, you can create specific shortcuts. So for example, for the camera application, if you press and hold on the camera application, it gives you a bunch of options. You can see there's a take selfie option, record video option, take portrait option. What you can do is you can grab any one of these shortcuts and drag it onto your desktop, okay, to turn that into a quick shortcut for that particular application. As you can see, now I can tap this button, it goes straight into record video. I can tap this button, it goes straight into the selfie camera, which is right here looking at us right now. The next thing you can do, which is very cool, is if you have an application running, if you want to quickly start multitasking for any application, and let's say you have your taskbar turned off, what you can do is you can use two fingers and swipe inwards from any side like this to activate multitasking, and then you can from here pick another application, and that will give you a quick split screen multitasking. You can do it from this side or this side, does not matter. Now for this feature to actually work, you do have to go to the settings, and you do have to go to advanced features right here, and then what you want to do is you want to go to multi-window option, and you want to enable swipe for split screen, okay? While we are here, you also have the option to swipe for pop-up. So let's just launch an application here, calculator, and what you can do is you can swipe from the top inwards, and that is going to convert that application into a pop-up, as you can see, okay? You can use this as you please, and then you can tap this button here, and you can minimize it and have it on the side and only access it as you need it. Do something here, tap this, make calculation, go down, boom, boom. It's fantastic. Additionally, back in the settings, under advanced features, right here, there's this new option that says show multi-window menu with one window. So look at this, I have it enabled, okay? And as I enable it, you can see there's a bar that is showing up on the top. If I disable it, that bar is disappearing on the top. So that's going to be available for all applications. So if I do this application, you can see we have a bar, okay? Basically, that bar is the multi-window menu that you can tap on like a Windows computer, and from here you can X out of it, okay? Let me go back into one more here. You can X out, you can activate pop-up right from here, or let me just maximize this. You can tap it again and you can do split screen from here as well. So many options to activate multitasking and work with Windows in multitasking mode. Let's go back to settings. One more thing that's very important right there under advanced features is when you tap on multi-window, you can enable this option. This is full screen in split screen. So if I have split screen, like this, right now we don't have full screen because you can see the taskbar and you can see the status bar. But if I enable this, it makes them both disappear, giving you a full view of all apps, hiding everything else, okay? And of course, you can always swipe up. They'll all come up and you can swipe away and move on. By the way, some people may not like this swipe gesture navigation structure. So if I have the phone to go back home, you swipe up. If I'm in a setting or anywhere, I would have to swipe to go back. Some people just want the buttons. You have that option. So you can go to the settings, you can go to display, you can scroll down to navigation bar, and you can switch between buttons where you get these three buttons, home button, recents button, and the back button. Or you can just go with the swipe gestures, which is what I have started to prefer over the buttons because it is so smooth now. So you can go from either swipe gestures to button gestures. It's all going to be up to you. Now, if you are in swipe gesture mode, you can hide this gesture hint bar at the bottom. So look at this. If I tap it, that bar disappears. If I tap it again, that bar reappears. It's all going to be up to you how you want to set your phone. Let's just launch an application real quick. I just want to grab up the keyboard, tap right here. So real quick, the keyboard is going to have a bunch of options on the top here. So if you're holding the phone with two hands, this keyboard might be too large. You can tap this and split it this way for easier typing. Or you can tap it again and you can connect it together. You also have the option to do a floating keyboard, which you can have on the screen like this. Now I prefer personally this one, but again, we are doing this so everything fits your own personal needs. Next thing that's very important, this device is going to be a multimedia powerhouse. So you want to make sure when you're watching movies, watching videos, playing games, you get the best quality, the brightest clarity. So launch the settings, go into advanced features, and then scroll down and go into video brightness. Under video brightness, select bright, okay? And what that's going to allow you to do is going to allow you to activate applications where you want to use this option, and this option will increase the brightness and make the colors more vibrant so videos look even better. So you have that option for video enhancement. Now after you do this, go up here, and go to sound and vibration. Again, this is a multimedia device, so what you want to do is you want to scroll down, go to sound, quality, and effects, and make sure you play with the Dolby Atmos. Enable this to get the best possible sound experience from the built-in speakers. I would choose this to be auto, but you can, if you're watching a movie, you can use movie mode, you can do music mode, or you can make voice mode, maybe if you're listening to a podcast. And then if you go back, you can see you also have Dolby Atmos option for gaming, which is going to give you realistic sound when you play games. And one more thing that I want to quickly mention is if you go to display, right now you can see you have this split screen view for settings. Some people might not like it. So you have the option to go down here, go to screen layout and zoom, and just go with the standard view. So everything looks like a regular screen, as you can see. So now the settings are just one column, and you have to tap in to go inside. Now in my case, I prefer to have it this way, so I'm going to keep it multi-view. And while we are in the display settings, you can also, let's go back here, be aware of the fact that you can enable and disable the eye comfort shield. If you're in bed at night and you're looking at this big display, your eyes are going to get stressed. So what you want to do is you want to turn the comfort shield mode and get that hue on the phone with the warmer colors to go easy on those eyes. You can even do enhanced comfort to maximize the comfort. You can do adaptive or custom based on your specific eye situation. You'll know which one is going to be less strainful on the eyes at nighttime. You do not want to look at a bright white display at nighttime. Now, one more really amazing thing with the Galaxy Z Fold is the outer display and the inner display are separate entities. So if I press and hold here and tap on wallpaper and style, and if I change a wallpaper here, it is only going to change the wallpaper on the inner display. Similarly, if I go to the settings and if I go to display, and let's say I come here and I change the motion smoothness to standard, and I tap on apply, that is only going to apply on the inner unfolded display. In fact, if you look over here, it even says it. Adjust your main screen's refresh rate. Close your phone to adjust the refresh rate for the cover screen. Let's go back to adaptive. Let's go back to the outer screen. Remember this wallpaper. You can see back over here we have a different wallpaper. So if I pinch the screen, go to wallpapers, change the wallpaper from here. Let's just use this one as an example. All right, tap on done. You can see we have this wallpaper on the outside, and on the inside, when I unfold it, we have the other wallpaper. So two different wallpapers for two different screens, and the same thing is going to apply to the lock screen. So on the outside, I picked a different lock screen. So on the inside, we're still going to have a different lock screen. The one thing that does not change on the lock screen is if you go to the settings, and if you go into the actual lock screen here, and if you modify your lock screen by tapping edit here, changes you make on the lock screen are going to be applicable to both screens. as far as these app shortcuts are concerned. So you have two app shortcuts here that you can change as you need. Right now I have flashlight and calculator. I also have a signature here. I typed in my channel name sakitech. That's going to show up on the lock screen. And then I can tap right here and I can pick different clock styles, as you can see. Change the size if that's what you want to do. Even change the color. That's all going to be up to you. There's a lot of options here to customize this stuff. But if I tap on done here, and if I go to the lock screen here, you can see we have those shortcuts, the signature and the clock. If I go to the outer display, you can see the wallpaper is different, but the shortcuts remain the same, the clock remains the same, and also the signature remains the same. So it's a little complicated, but you're going to get used to it after a little. One more very important feature to protect the battery of your smartphone is if you go to the settings, and if you scroll down and go into battery and device care, and then tap on battery, and then scroll down and tap on more battery settings, you can enable this feature known as protect battery. So when you charge the phone, it's only going to charge it up to 85% max instead of 100%. By doing that, you are going to be extending the battery of your smartphone. This is a great feature to use if you know that you're going to be using this phone for a long time. If you upgrade every year, probably not a big deal, but if you're going to keep this phone for 4 or 5 years, you want to preserve that battery as much as possible. So do the protect battery. You're only going to get 85% maximum charge, so it is going to affect your battery life, but on the flip side, you're going to get some battery protection. Now, one more thing I want you guys to know is as you're arranging your home screen and moving apps around, okay, some people just do it one by one, which can take a lot of time. Now, with these Samsung phones, what you can do is when you press and hold on an application, you can tap on select. You can select multiple apps at the same time, grab them as a batch, and move them over as a batch, okay? So that's going to make it very easy to move stuff around and organize your phone as you please. You can also press and hold, select, and on the top you've got options to uninstall in a batch, remove in a batch, or create a folder in a batch. So if I select 4 applications and tap on create folder, those apps will get dumped into a folder. I can give it a name, X, and then I can tap over here, pick a color for the folder, and now I have a folder almost instantly. And inside the folder, if I want to end the folder, press and hold, select the applications you don't want, grab them all together, drag them outside, and now the folder is gone. We're back with all the apps. Very easy to manage the home screen. All right, so that brings us to the end of this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below. Let me know. For now, guys, have a fantastic day.